Fed rate hike. Meanwhile, in the US market, stocks rallied on Wednesday after a mid-session turnaround as investors focused on Fed Chair Jerome Powell's comments, acknowledging that inflation was easing in the world's largest economy. The Dow Jones closed flat, the S&P 500 up over 1%, and the Nasdaq Composite finished 2% higher. Reacting to earnings, Meta too surged after reporting a strong fourth quarter as well. All right, that's the global market action. We have a lot to catch up on, right? So how will these cues in the domestic and global markets impact our own markets? We have our research team joining in to tell you just that, the trade setup, stocks that are likely to be in the news, and the action from the F&O space as well. Hey guys, a very good morning to all of you. Rima, let me come across to you first up. What is the market setup looking like today?
Well, it's the D-day after the budget. But, the focus is got to be taken by the Adani Group stocks as well as, by the Federal Reserve. The budget did what everyone was hoping for. The capex thrust, it energized the markets for a greater part of the trading session. But the rout in Adani Group stocks in the last hour of trade hogged the limelight yesterday. So yesterday, by night, we heard that the Adani Group has withdrawn the mega 20,000 crore FPO, and the Adani global bond yields have also surged. Adani pulling out at the last minute doesn't inspire too much confidence. But remember, the Adani Enterprises stock price is now hovering around 2,100. So it's a good 1,000 rupees lower than what the FPO floor price was, and much more compared to what the anchor investors had put in, which was at the upper end of the trade band. Yesterday, Adani Enterprises stock was down 28%, but the delivery volumes was just close to about 14 to 15%. The group market capitalization has declined by close to $9 to $10 billion since the Hindenburg report. One more internal in the markets, which is a bit heartening, is the FIs. So FIs have been selling intensively in the cash market for the last 7 to 8 trading sessions. But yesterday, on budget day, you had the FIs buying 1,785 crore in the cash market. So day one of the February series, on budget day, the FIs pumped in money. And this comes on the back of 41,000 crore of cash selling seen by the FIs in the month of January. You've been talking about the Fed for the last few minutes, how the Fed has raised rates by 25 basis points. The Dow had an intraday surge. At one point of time, it was down 500 points, but managed to recover to close flat. The Fed has kept more rate hikes on the table. A quick word on the budget. CLSA says the introduction of the new tax slabs is unlikely to result in any incremental consumption. If that's the case, it could come in as a bit of a disappointment, though metals and cement could do well given the thrust on capex. Today is also the weekly expiry, and the big levels to track will be 17,800 on the way down to about 17,300 on the way down. Back to you.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much, Rima, for all those updates. Of course, a few things will dominate the mind space today, apart from the budget reaction as well. Let's talk about stocks as well. A lot of earnings that we have to address. Vivek is here to take us through all those stocks as well. Good morning, Vivek.
Well, good morning. Quite a few results that came in post market hours yesterday. Also late last night, given the withdrawal of the Adani Enterprises FPO, all of the Adani Group stocks will remain in focus as well. Moving on to results, Britannia reported a very strong quarter despite a one-off significant gain. So when you're talking about the core EBITDA coming in at close to 820 crore versus the CNBC-TV18 poll of 675 crore. So clean beat as far as Britannia is concerned. Also keep an eye out for IDFC twins. Both IDFC as well as IDFC Bank will remain in focus. IDFC delivered its results. The profitability came in at close to 272 crore versus 18 crore on a year-on-year basis. And also, the management has said that they would now be investing close to 2,200 crore in IDFC First Bank, increasing their equity holding from 36.4% to 40%. Keep an eye out for Tata Chemicals as well. A strong set of results coming in from that company as well. Profitability up almost 12% on a year-on-year basis. EBITDA up almost 69%. Ashok Leyland, delivered its results yesterday. Good set of results coming in from Ashok Leyland. Revenues up 56%, close to the 10,400 mark. Profitability at 319 crore versus a loss seen last time around. When you're talking about the January auto sales, Ashok Leyland delivered auto sales of close to 17,200 units versus Nomura's estimate of 17,450 units. On the back of January auto sales, Hero MotoCorp continued to show slightly muted set of numbers. Total sales at 3.56 lakh units versus Nomura's estimates of 4.1 lakh units. Lastly, IndusInd Bank clarified on its exposure to the Adani Group. The total loan outstanding towards the conglomerate is 0.49% of the bank's loan book.
Okay, that's a long list, Vivek. Thank you so much for joining us and telling us what's happening as far as stock-specific action is concerned. Let's go across to Nigel now. He'll tell us all about the F&O space. Hey, Nigel, good morning.
Well, morning. The point that Rima made that the FIs, they bought yesterday, and they bought for the first time in 7 sessions. Remember, they sold close to on 24,000 crores in the previous session. So pretty heartening out there. And keep in mind, this is the largest buy number we've seen all the way since November. The institutions, well, they net bought as well, close on 2,300 crores. And that's encouraging because that's the highest we've seen in the last 40 days or so. The first signs, though, of the FIs covering some shorts on index futures. At least that's what the data point threw up yesterday, because they covered close to 7,000 short contracts. So the short positioning still continues at around 81%. So they continue to remain net short. But after a few days of adding 25,000 contracts on the short side, we did see some bit of a squeeze in yesterday's trade. And it appears the Nifty Bank, that's been the weak point, at lower levels appears there was some bit of covering that played out there. On the option side, well, the 17,800, 17,700 call, at one point of time, those premiums were more than 100, 150 rupees odd. So keep in mind that both those two strikes, well, they have been getting written, for the last few days, and that's likely to continue. So we could get a bit of a pop, though at higher levels, we're expecting some bit of, selling pressure. The support, 17,350 to 17,400. We've visited those levels in the last 1 week or so, and we have bounced out that. So that's a crucial support because the bulls are coming into fight out there. But as yesterday we saw as well, 17,950, which is the 20 and the 100 DMA, selling did come about. SGX Nifty suggesting a 100-point downtick. I'm guessing that maybe we slide further, in the first hour itself. And then the hope is we'll see a bit of a short covering bounce. Let's see whether or not that plays out.
Okay, we will do that, Nigel. Thank you so much for explaining all those F&O cues for us.